have been favoring my left side lately, but maybe, just maybe, I should give my right side another chance. Left side, get a note to right side and set up a lunch meeting. Tell him it's his last chance to get the beer to my mouth without spilling it.
Hey, how's it going?
James
I don't think I've seen you in about 25 years.
It's been a couple years.
He looks just the same. I'm sure he looks just exactly the same.
A little less hair. Pretty close.
Hey, Pat.
Hey,
And
Jeff.
Pat.
What's up, man? It's good to see you. You haven't changed either.
You.
Man. Wow.
Yes.
Wow, you just got to stare at Jim for a while
Yeah,
and
yeah.
take it all in.
Let's take a moment.
I'm staring at you guys. So. Look at all those
Chris has
dreads.
the most hair left of all of
Got
us.
good hair.
Yeah, look at that. Wow.
Yeah. He's got
Envious.
yeah. Sporting the eraser head.
Eraser head, exactly. That's
My
sweet.
favorite movie of all time.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm one of the few that can say that.
Greetings, fellow Earth babies, and welcome to Post-Punk Heartstrings. I'm Jimmy James S. Butler, and you are in store for a treat today. This episode is featuring the experimental post-punk creations of Pat and Chris Bradley, as presented in their band June, Cleaver, and the Steak Knives. I was introduced to the music of June, Cleaver, and the Steak Knives by Jerry Osavort, who recently was featured on our episode on Sisters of Mercy Floodland album. And he is a longtime friend of Chris and Pat Bradley. Also, Jim is another friend that goes back a ways with Chris and Pat. And when Jerry shot me an Instagram message regarding the music of these guys, I was instantly intrigued with what I heard. And as you know, on this podcast, we not only celebrate the albums and bands of our past that are more well-known, but we also really enjoy digging into the indie artists and bands that we come across that strike our fancy and we feel like more people need to hear. This was a really great conversation that we had with the guys. It was really interesting to hear how they got started from a very young age in their process of putting together experimental type music. They have a lot of found sounds that they put in. They pretty much create musical works of art, and I think you'll be really intrigued with the music in their process. As you prepare for this episode, you can go to cleavermusic.com and familiarize yourself with a little bit of the band, their works, their past albums. They've been doing this for quite a while, and it's really cool, the combination of the music and the artwork of Pat, who is a graphic artist, and they kind of incorporate that into their work with their videos and their music, and I just think it's really cool. I really love the sci-fi comic book style of the graphics, and so I think you'll really love that too. As you will soon find out when you listen to their music, nothing is off limits, either from a found sound or instrumental aspect, but also subject matter. It's important to remember a lot of this is tongue-in-cheek. I think most of our audience is going to 100% understand that. Everything is not as it seems with their music. So I'm really excited to be able to share music that is going to be new to many listeners. So without any further ado, here is our conversation with Chris and Pat of June, Cleaver, and the Steak Knives.
You know what cool means, don't you, Mom?
Sometimes I think it means not so hot.
I had it coming, I had it coming, with all my strumming, I had it coming. With all my tapping, I made it happen, with all my tapping, I got it slapping. She kicked the shit out of me. She kicked the shit out of me. She kicked the shit out of me. With her eyes. With her eyes. I got caught. It's all my fault. I got caught with a selfish thought. I get her thrashing, hooks and smashes. She wears brass knuckles on her lashes.
All right, so we got Chris and Pat. So you guys all know each other, right? All you three?
Yes.
Yeah.
Grew up together, kind of.
Yeah.
And you were in a band, sort of a band with one of these guys, right? Is that right?
Yeah, Pat.
I feel like it was an afternoon band.
Lasted 6 hours.
Do you remember the name?
It was Fricker and the Fruitcake.
Of course. Of course.
Actually.
Now, Jim called it a joke band, so I don't know.
Oh, don't tell.
Oh. No.
Chris fan.
You got me in trouble.
Okay. Was it a joke? No.
Pat's
It
told
was
me
a
all.
lot of, I remember.
What an important band this was.
Remember one. I don't
What was it?
remember exactly.
What was? Say it again. The something in the fruitcakes or something. What was it?
Fricker.
Hey, your father made the name, didn't he?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. He came up with the name.
Yeah.
Always
took-
wanted us to use that name.
Yeah.
It happened for an afternoon.
After
And I
an
don't
afternoon
remember
of-
anything
of
about
fame.
the actual music, but I do remember one of the songs was called Bonus Track, and it was just us singing bonus track. Just like,
Bonus track?
like a
Over and over.
3-second song.
Do you repeat it? Oh, you just said it once.
It was just bonus track.
Bonus track.
To the next song.
Well, Jerry was singing, right?
Yeah.
Jerry
yeah.
was a singer. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember there was
Okay,
like,
yeah.
we yell, "We're Fricker and the Fruitcakes," and I had Jerry's dad's hollow body
Oh, yeah, right.
with a Bigsby, and I'm just like, and then you were playing drums, I guess. And it was great. It was a good time.
Yeah.
Where was the session?
In the basement.
It's your parents' basement, yeah.
Where it should be.
All the magic happened.
That's where. That's exactly.
We
That's where the band should
ended
be.
on a
either the
on a high
garage or the
note.
basement. One of the two. That's where it's got to be.
Yeah.
I wish you guys had gotten a recording of it.
There was.
I think there was on a cassette, or so Jerry might have it still. I'll have to ask
Yeah,
him.
that would be gold.
I would have to bug him.
Yeah.
So speaking of Jerry, I think he's the one that mentioned you guys to me. I don't think it was you, Jim.
Well,
I think it was Jerry.
yeah,
I think he
I
sent
think
me a
you're right.
message. He's like, "Hey, these are old friends or something. You should check them out."
he did.
And I did. And I started listening and kept listening. And I was like, "Hey, I need to." I don't even think I told you, Jim, that I was going to get them on the show at first. I think I just told you,
Yeah, I don't know.
"Hey, I was talking to them. I'm going to get them on." So because usually Jim,
I liked it.
Jim has been the guy who's going out and finding people and doing
Oh, cool.
the legwork.
Yeah, well, I'm not afraid of rejection because it's
Exactly.
it's his baby. So
You're used
for
to
me,
it.
I'm just like, you
You're
want
used
to be
to
on
it.
here or not? And if they say no, yeah, I'm used to rejection. Don't get me
But the
crying
ones-
again, Jimmy.
The ones that I wanted, that I come up with myself, are usually the church and stuff like that, which Jim also wanted. But then there's independent bands that some of them I hear and I'm like, oh, I just want to get them on. And you're one of those bands that was really just very interesting to me and very diverse in instrumentation and sounds and styles. And somehow it still flowed together. And I was really intrigued by all that. So, some of the questions will be kind of surrounding some of that. But we always kind of
that's great.
start at the...
Great to hear.
Are you friends
I
with
love
you
it.
guys?
I can't stop listening. And there's a
Really?
lot to listen to. As Jim said before, when we were getting ready to prepare notes, he's like, they have a lot of songs, exclamation mark. I think you sent me a text.
Yeah, well, like
I was
three
like, yes, they
exclamation
do.
points.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Been doing this for like 30 years. So.
Yeah.
I think we got like 30 some questions, don't we?
At
All right.
least.
Wow.
I narrowed
So
it down.
we'll
I
have to-
think I narrowed it down because I was like,
We'll just
there's
have
no
to
way.
fire them out. And see what
Yeah,
happens.
I think they're all still kind of in there. We always bring questions and then merge them. I merge them together. But
Sure, yeah.
we usually start like at the beginning pretty much and see what your earliest days were like as far as your influences and when you began to play and stuff like that. So we'll just start out with who were some of your original musical influences and how did they shape your sound?
Who wants to take that one? I would say I have more.
You're influenced by no one, right?
No, that's not true. But I would say I have more of like a narrower. I feel like Chris listens to a more diverse.
I listen to everything.
Yeah. But I mean, just rattling off names, I would say like early on, for me, Oingo Boingo, Smiths.
You gotta go back farther, man.
All right.
We go back to the Beatles.
Doors.
Beatles were the thing that really got, because our band actually goes back to.
Oh, okay, yeah.
When we were about 7, I guess I was about 8. Pat was 4, and we started a band called the Crickets.
Crickets.
Now there's another band called the Crickets, right?
Yeah, Buddy Holly. We didn't know that.
Yeah. Stole it from us.
But we were so influenced by the Beatles. We were like, wow, got to be something bug-like, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
So we became the Crickets. Then my dad told us right away, well, that's already taken. No. I think we became the Walruses at some point. Right?
Ooh. Yeah, that's very.
You are the Walruses.
Exactly.
Could you?
Yeah, and we would basically I played guitar, and I didn't know, I think I just played open strumming, and tuned it maybe differently every now and then. And Pat would play a bar stool.
That was my drum set, yeah.
That was the drum set.
Yeah.
And we would play along to the records and like have a little concert in the legendary basement that Jim was in.
Yeah.
Fricker studio.
Yeah, once in a while, like one of my mom would always show up. My dad would sometimes show up as our audience. But that was like, we thought we were like having like rock concert. And we did that for a long time.
Yeah, cool.
And
We're still doing
it. Yeah. For our live show. But, I guess then we took a big break in between, like when we stopped doing that, Pat. We did it for a long time too.
Oh, wow.
Well, I kind of just remember like making the posters that hang around the house that we were having a concert tonight, and
we found some of those posters recently.
Yeah, like 25-cent admission, and
that's awesome.
Yeah, our parents are very patient. Our parents were so patient. Having at one point, I think we had 2 drum sets in that basement, and there was no door to it, so it was just Chris has been
like
in
a stairway.
Every band. Yeah,
stairway of noise.
Yeah, and Chris has been in a band. You probably couldn't even count how many bands he's been in, but throughout high school and everything, they would all practice in that basement. And
my parents were like the same.
So patient.
At one point, I was in a band called Sloth, and it was like basically a Dio cover band.
Oh, wow.
I don't know, you probably have never heard of Dio, but not Dio, Dokken. We did do a
Dokken.
Oh, Dokken.
Yeah. Dokken. You remember Dokken?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
To me, I hated that stuff, but it was a way to get the ladies. Well, not really. I mean, in my mind, it was a way to get the ladies. I think we did like a cover of "Pour Some Sugar on Me."
Oh. Well,
either way, my parents were incredibly patient.
You guys did YYZ and Russia.
We did YYZ, yeah. We did.
That's cool.
Oh, yeah.
That's very cool.
That's really bad song. But I guess, like, to answer your question, one of my earliest memories is my mom putting on Strange Days by The Doors and just really being, at a young age, moved by it. Like, I guess I must have been 7 or so. That was like a toddler. And we would dance around the room, and it was just like it was such a great album. And I was fascinated by the cover of it. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it.
I don't remember.
It was like a circus scene.
Like a circus sort of thing.
Yeah.
So they were a big influence. But I guess when we started doing June Cleaver, it was more like we were into, like, of course, the Smiths and The Cure. We had actually gotten really into the Residents. Do you guys know the Residents?
I don't.
They're like this obscure band that nobody knows who they actually really are. They wear costumes.
This is the eyeballs.
The eyeballs.
The eyeballs, top hats, and tuxes. I think listening to them made Pat and I realize that, we could do this because we were into it from an artsy side of things. We were looking to be like technically brilliant or, write big hits, or, and we just wanted to like do some crazy stuff that was more artistic,
So the Residents sort of gave us permission to just, be really weird and they would sing with pitch shifters and I just felt like that opened up just the whole world of like, you don't have to have, music isn't creating a top 40 hit, can be anything. And the way that they kind of mixed in the art and the music, I think was a big deal for us. We
didn't have to be able to sing well. As long as you had a good idea, you could get around that with effects or you'd hide it.
That's what post-punk's all about, right? And being, expressing yourself creatively in, from an artistic, stance, I think, and that's what it's all about. So,
I mean, someone like as much as like Henry Rollins is not a good singer, but to me, I love his voice. I wouldn't call him like a trained singer in any form, but he's got like the pipes to belt things out, and some people just have like a very unusual voice that I enjoy.
Yeah,
and then other people have wonderful voices that I can't stand. So.
yeah,
technically brilliant voices. So.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So who else? Any other influences?
Oh, lots of them. Susie and the Banshees for me. Sonic Youth. How about you, Pat? I don't know. Take it all.
I was just going to open up my iTunes and see what I have. They're all still there.
Bauhaus is a huge one.
What about Zappa? Zappa?
Oh, Frank Zappa. Yeah, to me, Pat, not necessarily Pat, but Zappa to me was a huge influence.
I think I can.
That's one thing we don't really share. Yeah. We're not eye to eye on. But
I mean, I respect everything he does and has done. But yeah, some of it not my cup of tea. But
I mean, some of it's not my cup of tea either. There's always some stuff.
Yeah.
I would say
some of the potty talk is not my favorite, but I love his composition.
Potty talk.
Potty talk. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, it's like every Leonard Cohen, Bowie.
Yeah.
Fred Frith. I mean, I would say even Flight of the Conchords. You guys know them.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like just that.
Yeah.
The fact that they have music it's comedy music, but it also works as a band, it's the kind of thing I can listen to their songs. So, I mean, the jokes, but music holds it up. So,
yeah.
Cool.
And I'm much more interested in their music than I am the show. To tell you the truth.
Yeah, same. I mean, the show is
they're kind of brilliant songs.
Yeah.
I mean, they're brilliant comedy sketches too, but the songs you can keep listening to.
Mm-hmm.
The Distant Future.
Exactly.
That's all I can remember.
It never gets old.
And Business Time. Business Time's a classic.
Yeah. Business Time. Yeah, I would say like all that stuff. I think the thing that brought it together was when Chris bought a 4-track. And because before that, we had I was much more into visual art and sort of pursuing that. And Chris was in like a million different bands. But I think when he got the 4-track, and that kind of brought us together in terms of being able to, because you can cheat. And that, especially for me, who like Chris has all the experience of, playing in all these bands, playing live. I played, in a couple bands live for very short periods of time and never got used to actually performing live to the point where I can, play guitar fairly well with finger picking and stuff. At the moment I'm playing it for anyone, it just falls apart to this day. So if we ever go on tour, I will need a lot of training and practice. But
we need to bring Jim along.
Yeah.
I'll come along.
Yeah.
Money talks.
You're still playing, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You have a band? Are you playing a band right now? Or?
Yeah, I just I'm with 3 other guys, possibly a keyboardist coming on for a 5th. So
cool.
Yeah, post-punk influence. Our singer sounds kind of like Geddy Lee, so it's like if Geddy Lee joined The Cure, that would be us.
Oh wow,
that's a good description.
You gotta send me a link to that.
I will. We're working. We have we did a Peter Murphy cover. I could send you a link to that. We have that on YouTube. So.
You have a bunch of stuff though, don't you? Because I do. Jerry showed me like links to
my
a lot of stuff, and it was really good.
Thank you. That's Airedale. That's
Airedale. Yeah.
That's just me, and sometimes I bring somebody in to help me out. But
very cool.
Pretty much just me. So
it's super cool. Super cool. Yeah.
Thank you. That's how we met. That's how me and Jimmy met.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Jimmy, you play too?
Oh no.
He likes music.
I do nothing.
You love music.
I just enjoy it. Yeah. I love music.
Good.
That's
great.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Geddy Lee, we were both really influenced by Rush too.
Rush was huge.
Yeah. Rush is awesome.
Led Zeppelin, The Damned. For me, anyway. I don't know about you.
Some of it, yeah. Not. I feel like I catch a lot of things way after they're in their prime. For all sources of media. Like I feel like I watched Seinfeld. Like I started watching it at its last episode. So do the same thing with music. Like, oh, these guys are great. When did this come out? Oh, 1889. Oh, great.
It's so easy to miss bands though, especially like in the late 70s and early 80s and stuff. Like it seems like every day I'm like, wait a minute, I never even heard of this band.
Right.
A lot of good ones too.
Yeah. So much great stuff that is obscure.
Yeah.
It's nice to just come upon it and be like, holy crap, how did I miss this? I love that.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm always like very thirsty for new music. I'm, always looking for more. And, as you get older, I guess it's harder to find people that will continue to fuel you with music,
Yeah.
At least for me, I don't know.
Yeah, I find it's, you kind of need someone you trust. Maybe that's what this is, like someone to say, hey, here, this is worth checking out, because you're bombarded with so much.
Yeah, it's oversaturated for sure.
Yeah. And to dig through all that as an adult, like, you just don't have the time.
What do I say, Jim? I'm trying to get the music into more ear canals if I can do it. That's my role, right? I don't know. I don't play anything, but that's what I want to do. So
yeah,
how I met you.
You need more people like you.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, appreciate that. So, what was the first album you guys bought? Each of you, like the album you bought with your own money, or I guess if somebody bought it for you, that's cool too. But like what you really wanted, and there's no judgment. Okay, just in case.
Unless it's Docking. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Just joking.
What did we have? A couple episodes. We had Kenny G and who was what was the other one from Dover Lights? Kenny G.
Bon Jovi.
No, that was okay. I was cool with that. What
he found it in a dump. Remember, in a dump. He found.
Yeah, I was cool with that.
Oh, okay.
Kenny G and I can't remember what the other one, Andy one.
I'll have to listen to it again.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's an example of no judgment. So.
I think the first record I bought, and I've asked Chris this a million times, like it was Moving Pictures by Rush, and I don't remember buying it, but I remember it ending, obviously it wasn't our parents in their record collection.
It had a little sticker on the bottom that said property of Pat.
Yeah, we used to have those stickers. So it was mine. I don't remember buying it, but I remember like wearing it out, like I feel like that was my first, something I felt like I owned in terms of like my discovery. That would be it for me.
Great album.
Cool.
I guess my parents used to surprise us. I'd come home from my paper route and there'd be a Beatles album. Like, I remember Hey Jude being like on the bar or whatever and just being like, oh my God, just being so excited to my parents picked it up for me. And Pat too. We were both big fans. But I guess the one I actually bought with my own hard-earned money, first one I think, was Them or Us by Zappa, which had just come out. Wow. I thought it was really cool because I had a brand new album, and it was just so wonderful to like look through the sleeve art. It was such an experience back then. In fact, Pat would.
You can't have that again. It's hard. You can't have these days. It's hard to. We
were trying to bring that back with our new album. Pat's in the process of making a book that was going to be like to go with the album as you listen to it.
Oh, cool!
Yes,
I love that.
At some point it will come out. But
that was our big concept with the last album we did. It was because it took so long to make, and it ended up. We narrowed it down to like 18 songs, so it's kind of like a double album. And then I had this really ambitious idea of making a book where you would kind of follow along the songs, and it was never meant to be really a concept album, but the more we've thought about it and the more like with the writing, the themes that kind of overlapped, we kind of like made it into a concept album, and the artwork kind of brings it together, and it's taken me
had to develop this whole little story to combine all the songs.
Yeah.
Kind of bring it.
And it's
you're still working on that then? Is that what you're
still working on it?
Yeah.
I need to light a fire under my butt.
Inspire him because we need him to finish this.
We want one.
Is that some of the is some of the artwork, some of the covers of the singles?
That's some of
those are cool. I think those are really cool.
There was going to be a page of just that artwork, but then it kind of dives deeper because it's so much fun if you write a song, and at least the way I write, you kind of have an idea. Sometimes it's, a sort of catchy chorus or something, and sometimes it's like something more than that. And the way I do it is just throw everything on the page that it could be about, and you have to like scrape away a lot of potentially good stuff to narrow it down into something that's a song. And the cool thing about doing that and having this other sort of platform to work in, you can take a lot of those lyrics and put them in the book, So it sort of adds another dimension to these songs. And then it was a lot of fun to figure out how, a little things that are throughout the book that sort of link the songs together. So, probably can't talk
That's so cool. I think it's so cool. I love that concept and I love that idea. And I love stuff like that. Part of that's because I'm 55 years old and I remember being able to look out through all that stuff, and the mags and stuff. But that's so cool. Yeah.
That's what we always talked about. I mean, that's kind of like what led the idea a lot was we would look at like the Beatles Revolver and that artwork on there, or opening up, whatever it was. And you would actually take the time to read the lyrics and you'd sit there, listen to the album, not be listening and doing work or driving your car or anything. You'd just be you and the music and the sort of album and reading the liner notes and looking at the pictures.
Something to focus.
What kept you there. Yeah. So it's something that people don't really experience much anymore. So
yeah, people have sort of lost the art of listening,
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, of course, some people are experts at it, but, a lot of people just have it on in the background. It's hard to get somebody to actually sit down and listen to something in this day and age. I'm guilty myself. Just sit down and I'd love to do it. In my mind, I'm like, why aren't you doing this? But it's just like there's no time.
Hard to focus.
People love vinyl and they love the sound of it. And I know that's all true, but the reason I have purchased my very small collection of vinyl is because it forces me to sit in the room with the player and sit there and listen. It's ridiculous. I mean, I own all the albums already, but like I'm going to get this one just so it forces me to sit here and listen to it.
That's exactly right.
Really experience it.
Yeah, that's great.
Love it. I love it. I wish I could do that more.
Yeah. So.
I usually I put vinyl on when I'm like making dinner or something like that. And I'm just like, have it right there. I love it. I love doing that. Yeah, you're exactly right.
My vinyl, like my turntable and everything got banished down to the basement. So I don't spend a ton of time down there, unfortunately.
Right.
It doesn't have the aesthetics. So my wife was like downstairs until you get a nicer looking setup.
Right.
So I think you might have hit on this a little bit. So how did each of you start playing instruments? I know you talked a little bit about when you were really young playing stuff. And was there a particular moment or, I think you already hit on this too, like a particular artist that pushed you into music, but like, how did you guys start playing like seriously, I guess would be the question.
I started taking guitar lessons probably when I was about 9 or 10, probably 10, right? I mean, does that sound
That's young.
Right?
That's cool.
That sounds right. I remember you just down there when your bedroom is downstairs, and I would hear you just practicing over and over. You were dedicated to it, and I just took drum lessons, and I couldn't even dedicate myself to the fundamentals. You
were playing on a little, plastic board too, or a pad, so that's not very much fun. I'd hear Pat, like we actually took lessons right next door to each other in the same music store. I could hear Pat tapping away on his little pad next door. It just didn't sound like fun,
Oh, the Bebop Shop. I remember that.
Yeah, remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Is that still around?
I don't know. I live near Baltimore, so.
That's right. Yeah, I didn't see it when I was driving through Liverpool a few weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
I was looking for it.
It's gone.
But yeah, it's great. There was a great classical guitar player named Dennis Wilmer that taught me for years, and he was such a patient guy, and he was really open-minded too. I'd bring Rush songs in to him. Can you help me figure this one out? He'd like, okay, didn't really want to do it, but he'd listen to it, and he actually ended up really liking the Rush. He was a classically trained guy, but I guess that was when I started to seriously get into music, and then when I got into, I never wanted to join anything in school, but my mom forced me. This is the only time she's ever forced me to do anything. She forced me to join band. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. And she was like, no, just give it a chance. Just try it once, and then you can quit if you want to.
Wait, drums or guitar?
They didn't have guitar in band, so I had to pick something, and it was drums, so I joined it, and, it wasn't like thrilling to begin with, but as I got into high school, I joined everything I could. I joined marching band as a drummer, and I joined the jazz ensemble as a guitar player, vocal jazz ensemble. I'd be like in the pit orchestra of the plays in Beeville, Jim.
Yeah.
And I remember doing Oklahoma.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool.
And I remember specifically one point when there was like a little, some sort of dance they had to do. And I started playing this heavy metal beat. This was like the late 80s. You know?
When it was still cool.
And my instructor actually like stopping everything. I think she might have thrown a pencil at me at that point. And hit me in the side of the head. But, you know, I joined everything I could, and my instructors were brutal. Like, we had this guy named Hanzo, who was a lot like that movie Whiplash. I mean, he wasn't to that extreme, but he would stop the band. You know, there was one song we were playing. I mean, I'm getting off on a tangent here, but there was one song we were playing called Pterodactyl or something. And I would, you know, I had my little tremolo bar, and I'd make these like, wee, you know, like sounds like I thought would sound like a pterodactyl, and stop the band. Stop, everybody, stop. I remember him saying to anybody that made a wrong note or did anything he didn't like, I'm going to shove that instrument up your ass sideways in front of everyone. And, you know, he did his best to humiliate me. And actually, when he was about to get canned because he did some bad stuff, he threatened to find me and like beat me up outside off the, you know, campus ground.
Wow. Never told me that.
Yeah, it was like, during graduation, he came up to me, like, because I was playing, I was, you know, kind of always fooling around back there because he get bored, you know, sometimes. He said, "I'm going to find you, and I'm going to find you in some back alley, and I'm going to kick your ass." So that was my high school experience with me.
Bring it on, Ponzo. We're still waiting.
Yeah, I couldn't wait. I was like, come on, man. He was like about 5'2". Come on, anytime.
Did you find him on Facebook or anything? Or you were looking him up?
I have looked him up. Yeah, he's
still
of course.
I think he's like failed. Like he got in a lot of trouble for hanging out with little young girls.
Yeah.
So you remember him, Jim? At Baker?
I went to ESM.
Oh, you went to ESM?
Yeah, I was just friends with Jerry through church, so that's how I ended up in Baldensville a lot. Yeah, I didn't go to Baldensville schools. Yep.
Anyway, Pat, I've been talking.
So what about you, Pat? What do you got with the drums?
Yeah, the drums are just the drums are a perfect example of the difference with Chris and I. I fooled around with the drums. They are kind of a therapy for me. Cool. I played on a few songs, but like doesn't make sense when he's got so much more skills. I feel like I do better.
He's actually really good.
No, well, I have moments of brilliance, but I can't repeat them, and so again, it comes from not like playing in front of people and having that sort of confidence. But and yeah, I was kind of more just very casual up until we started doing recordings like in the 90s, 2000s, and probably even later. Because there was a time where I felt like I would write songs, do these horrible like scratch tracks, and then give it to Chris, and he would here, fix this, re-record the, and sing it in key.
What do you want of your best man?
So I feel like there was a lot of that, and then I started taking guitar lessons online with Mark the guitar guy who lives in New Zealand, and so I've progressed a bit. He's helped me out a lot. And
when did you start taking guitar?
Yeah, the first lessons I took are maybe like 6 years ago. So
okay, cool.
In terms of drumming, I've been asking Chris for drum lessons and kind of like teaching myself the fundamentals. Finally, after just fooling around with beats and figuring out rhythm, there's only so much you can learn on your own, and so my whole, I feel like, early contributions to the band were more like in a general artistic sort of direction, and really relying on Chris's formal training and experience, and I feel like over time, I'm able to like contribute more. But
it's cool. You are the band now. Pat is not only contributing more, but he's become the band.
Yeah, what do you mean by that?
Not true.
I mean, like he was saying, he'll come up with these ideas, and I'll get all caught up in like trying to make them into a song and arranging things and instrumentation and stuff like that. And he's on to the next song by then. Yeah. And then I'm like 3 songs behind. So by the time the album's over, I'm like trying to catch up. But he's a brilliant songwriter, and
Well, thank you.
It's just gotten better and better.
Well, there is a huge backlog of songs that I've written, kind of done scratch tracks, and then kind of like they sit there. I'd love to have the time to be able to, bring them all to life, but it's a pretty slow process the way we work. Yeah.
Hey, there's worse things to have, man, than a backlog of songs.
True,
right?
True. Yeah.
Yeah.
No songs.
And I'm sure there's some therapy and just, artistic therapy in doing it, art for its own sake, right? That type of thing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Really the only reason we do it.
It's not the fame and fortune.
It's not? Okay.
Like having a bag.
Let's end this right now. I'm just kidding.
We're relying on you to make us famous and bring our.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. We once we got Kilby on, we made it. So
we're huge now.
That means we can use his name to promote anyone.
Excellent.
Not.
Well, how'd you get the church? I mean, the church, they're pretty huge, right? I mean,
because Jim's not afraid of rejection.
I just sent him a message. I go, "Hey, Steve, can you come on our show?" And he goes, "Sure. Give me a week and I'll get back to you." And he did, and nice. He was on. It was really easy. Now we got Peter Koppas on after.
Yep.
So. That's great.
That was entertaining.
That was different. Yeah,
we haven't got that one out, man. Yet. It's awesome, but he's a trip.
Yeah.
But you guys are on Apple Podcasts.
Yeah,
where I can find the show.
You can find us there. Yeah. Jim, you asked this question, even though I think you know the answer. Maybe, where did you grow up, and are you still living near each other, or has the distance affected like your collaboration process for the music and the albums?
We grew up in Baldwinsville, New York, and it's near Syracuse. And Chris now lives in Accord,
the Hudson Valley, kind of near Woodstock, New Paltz, about 90 miles north of New York City.
Yeah, I live in Charlottesville, Virginia. So
okay,
you're not too far from me.
Down a little ways.
We're neighbors.
Yeah.
You used to be in Baltimore, right? You went to school in Baltimore.
I did. Yeah, I spent a couple of years in Baltimore, and then went to Chicago,
I missed that,
and ended up back here. So it's. Even the times we're able to actually get together, it's only been like a couple times when we've been able to actually make music live. It's so sad because I feel like it's one of our dreams is to be able to like just sit down in the studio together and, produce something either improvised or work through stuff.
Yeah.
When we started this project, we were both, it was like a winter break maybe from college, and we were at my parents' house.
Yeah.
And we had all this time to just do whatever the hell we wanted.
Oh, yeah, that project.
And we would just get all these instruments, any instrument we could find, or anything that made noise, actually.
Yes.
It could be a ruler, or it could be a thumb piano, or kazoo. And we'd get it all into one room, and we would just let it rip.
Yeah, it was
some of the best stuff we ever, or at least the most fun we ever had.
Yeah, and that's kind of the dream. And it's unfortunate that, maybe that's what retirement will be. But
there you go.
Just being able to get together and do stuff that doesn't even have to be live, but together in the same room, like bouncing ideas off each other. And it's awesome to have the technology and be in this time when we can just send stuff back and forth and occasionally work stuff out over webcams and stuff. But
the thunder?
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's like storming here, like big time.
Oh, cool.
I'm hoping that the power doesn't go out.
Right.
I was hoping the special mic would not pick it up, but that one was pretty loud and close. But
you got a backup generator on that post?
Yeah, of course. No, not really. So the collaboration is tough, right? So hey, when did you mentioned this project? So when did June Cleaver and the Steak Knives officially begin? Was it that time, home from college, or?
Yeah, it was like 98, I think. Yeah. 98. We had our little 4 tracks, and we just started. I think I had been wanting to use that name for a long time, June Cleaver and the Steak Knives.
Yeah.
Everybody else rejected me, and Pat was like, "I love that."
Yeah, his other bands.
I mean,
the name. I was like, that's the name we're going to use. So
yeah, So we just started like recording any ideas that came to mind. I think one of our first things we did was like a Danny Kaye medley.
Yeah.
It was like one of the old movies. Which one was it, Pat?
I think it was The Inspector General, like an old movie from, for the listeners who don't know.
I used to watch all those movies when I was growing up, but I can't remember any of the names of them.
Yeah, and it was this thing where he like
I remember them.
He sings like all the different parts, and we didn't even know, we couldn't even figure out some of the actual words, so we
just
them, but
we figured out what the orchestra was doing and transcribed it for guitar, and
we did that. No, Chris did all that.
But it was like, the 4-track kind of opened up a whole new world for us because, we could throw these ideas down. And I remember being like a little kid and I didn't know anything about overdubbing, but I remember having like 2 crappy tape recorders and trying to record onto one and then play that back because I was recording onto another one. I thought I was like a mad scientist genius.
Yeah.
By the end, it was just like, whoosh, it was just like a white.
Yeah. All sorts of air hiss.
Yeah.
And when we finally had the equipment to do it right, still had a lot of hiss, but it opened up all these worlds. And then we went digital with the VS880, the Roland VS880 around 98. Pat bought one. And I had to buy one right after that because
how many tracks?
More tape hiss.
How many tracks?
8.
But they were digital.
Yeah. And you could bounce them probably too, right?
You could bounce, yeah. This tiny little screen do all your work in.
I had a task
over this little lines that went across on a calculator type LED screen. But it was so cool and it was so freeing and I was so excited to do that.
It's a big deal at the time, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure then. Yeah. Cool.
But yeah, that was we're definitely dating ourselves.
Yeah.
I had the Tascam version. It was like red Tascam box.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I don't know how that compared to the Roland, but
I don't know. Probably not as good.
I don't know, maybe.
Better than the 4-track though that you started.
Better than the 4-track cassette. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
did you use this 4-track, Jim?
Yeah, a little bit. Not as much
I
as
thought so.
Did.
Yeah.
I mean, now you kind of like that tape hiss. You kind of want
that's what I was getting ready to say. You went digital, and now it's like, hey, can we put a little bit of this in?
Yeah. But yeah, everything sort of, when you listen back, everything sounds kind of dead. Years later, it's like all the tracks have no noise, and it's almost like you can hear too much.
Yeah, it's very polished, and it's like kind of generic a little bit in some ways. Yeah,
missing some of the oomph.
Yeah. So you guys started then, and then when did you guys kind of put together like your first album? Like when did you decide, hey, we're going to do this, or
It was still in the 4-track days.
Oh,
we put together our the self-titled record, which it was an idea that we were going to take a bunch of the crazy instrumentation that we love to do and somehow turn them into songs. But we're going to take the concept was going to be we were going to think about what would have happened after when the cameras weren't rolling for Leave It to Beaver. Like what kind of stuff went on in the Cleaver household?
Oh my God!
What kind of bad things?
All sorts of shit was happening.
Yeah.
Just talk to Hugh Beaumont. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
So yeah, Ward is beating the children and his wife. And,
very dark.
Yeah, it was pretty dark. So we started working on that. I think it was like the summer of '97. And
that sounds right. And then once we went, got the 8-track, we went and re-recorded that whole album.
Oh.
Right? Pretty much. And we added to it. I mean, the first version was like maybe 20 minutes long, and the newer version,
we brought in some more of the story.
Spy on me, my children sense deceit.
Yeah.
There was one horrible moment.
Yeah, I was just thinking of that moment. Still hurts.
Ever. And the stupidest thing about the VS880 is if you didn't let it shut down properly and your finger accidentally slipped on the off button, it would erase everything that you had just worked on. Actually, erased our full entire album that we'd worked. We had about 20 minutes of finished stuff.
Oh, that's horrible.
And Pat just accidentally turned it off too quickly, and it was all gone.
Oh,
and it was such a
right?
terrible feeling. I remember just being agonized. I wanted to kill him.
Yeah,
I'm still not
deservedly so. Yeah, it was a huge setback.
No, I mean it was just a totally stupid design problem. I mean, why would they?
Wow.
Well, I mean that's like,
why would that be possible?
I guess early computing or whatever.
Are you saying it like you just if you shut it off too slow or too fast or something?
It was like a shutdown process, and I don't remember exactly what it was. But if you didn't wait for it to like finish doing what it was doing, like save it to the disk or whatever, and you physically click the button before that was done,
it was over.
There was hell to be paid.
It was like a
so you lost it, but you started again.
That's what I'm trying to remember. Did we? I feel like we had recorded all the drums, right?
I think we had like finished songs. At least that's how.
Wow, that really hurts.
That was why I was so pissed.
Because I kind of remember.
I had a show.
You see how Pat is trying to minimize this.
Yeah,
he's like, it was just the drums. What are you talking?
Just the drum. But I kind of remember like going back and us having to like re-record drums and sync it to other stuff or something. Does that ring a bell, or was it just start from scratch? I don't know.
Maybe it's start from scratch.
Okay. But
keep thinking that way, but
yeah. Revisionist history. June Cleaver and
it's so hard to do things the second, like if you've already done them, like you kind of lose your oomph trying to do the same thing.
Yeah.
But we got through it. So yeah, I think the first album was on tape. We gave a bunch of people dubs of that tape. And Pat made these really cool, the packaging was so cool because you made this like, remember it was like dance steps and
yeah. I spent a lot of time trying to figure out how to make something that would hold a cassette and like unfold in all these ways to have all this excuse to put a bunch of artwork everywhere. And
it was like a blueprint of the Cleaver household.
Yeah.
Steps going.
Wow.
Den and the study. And it was so cool.
That's super really cool. Good. Wow.
We probably don't even have a copy of that. We didn't save it. But
that's not right.
Once we got it with the digital workstation, we could make CDs after a while.
Yeah, it only took about 40 minutes to burn one.
Yeah, it took a long time. And
no fail burns. No fail burns. Is that what you're telling me?
There'd be a lot of failures. You get all the way to the end, and it would be like failure.
Yeah.
And it was just like a long process, but we thought we were on the cutting edge of technology back then.
Well, you kind of were.
For like without having a label or
yeah.
We're sending jazz drives back and forth to each other like these.
Yeah, does anyone remember
jazz drives? Oh my gosh! I forgot all about that.
Zip discs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think just another like thing that we had to figure out since we recorded all our own stuff. And Jim, I'm sure you probably struggled with this too, is like, how do you engineer this stuff? How do you like record something that sounds really good? You're always trying to get something that sounds as good as the professionals do in a studio that's like a multi-million-dollar studio, and you're in your home studio. And these days it's a lot easier, but especially back then, we didn't even have, we were recording, mixing stuff on, all the wrong speakers, and
the EQs were all like preset.
Oh yeah, that was.
Yeah, we'd have them like with bass like way up and treble way up. Yeah, you're supposed to have it all flat when you're mixing.
Very biased
back then, everything was
just kind of
trial and error.
Yeah, learn as you go.
Yeah, totally.
I think that kind of also, influenced the style a bit in terms of, when you have all the time in the world and, no money to pay anyone else to do it, you figure out stuff and you probably overdo some of the effects and, but, it's you have to wear all those hats of being, the musician and the producer.
Yeah.
The one thing we never figured out is how to do the marketing.
I hear you.
Yeah. And camp, I think, right?
Yeah. That's not so much the artistic, people who are artistic, they don't really enjoy that part of it.
No, it's just, it's another world.
It's like,
I don't know.
Confounding us.
So, you guys use a lot of found sounds and various instruments, like a lot of different instruments. Like, pretty much, is anything off limits? I think it seems like you'll just whatever you can find, you'll do. How do you guys approach it? That are you guys always just like, hey, let's try something new, or try to find something new, or
absolutely?
AI is the only thing that's off limits.
What is?
Yeah,
AI.
Just trying to be like totally human based,
Yeah.
What's the last instrument that you got? Was like the whatever the
Taishigoto. It's a Japanese, kind of like a lap steel guitar, but you pluck it, and it's got a pickup in it, and it has a really beautiful, authentic Japanese sound. But it really has a very original, unlike anything I've heard before. And it was only like $70 on eBay, and they're really cool. I recommend you guys each getting one. But no, we have sitars.
On the list.
Have to look it up.
We have all kinds of percussion. I just got a marimba actually not too long ago.
Cool.
And yeah, like you said, anything. We try to go for more unique sounds. So we're always trying different. Record. We'll take records and turntables and do every. Spin them every which way. And we just try to go with anything that would make a soundscape or ticking of clocks, that kind of thing. Anything can be music, I feel. So
yeah,
we take that approach.
Yeah, and it's kind of fun to just have something where the instrument kind of leads the direction of the song. I feel like we haven't done that in a while. I
want to get back to that.
We talk about like getting back to doing some more instrumental stuff. Less me working on this backlog of songs I've written and just like doing some more
getting back to our roots.
Yeah, just kind of exploration.
Yeah.
So
I remember doing like a session with Pat where it was like I was, like I mentioned before, a ruler. I had a ruler that I was kind of like hitting against the desk. It was making like a sound.
Yeah.
Pat was playing a little handheld recorder and using that as an instrument. And we had kazoos or something. I don't remember what it was, but we would take those kinds of instruments, just everyday objects, and try to make a song out of that. So anything and everything.
Yeah, and I think like we have one called the Sprinkler Song, which the sound of the sprinkler that does the so we started that was our influence for that song of just like I think we were just using drumsticks and stuff, but following that pattern, and then that kind of led to this whole idea.
We had an accordion for that one.
That's right, yeah. And that's what'll happen. Like, nice. Chris, I'm trying to think of one of our more recent songs where I felt like from my end of it, it was like a very much a Rush influenced song, and then Chris is like, okay, and he goes and puts in accordion.
Kill the vibe.
Rush light.
Yes.
Ending that right here.
Yeah, it's I feel like he's always I don't know. throwing something out from left field.
Yeah.
And a lot of times at first I'm sort of like, but by the end, I'm like, that song would be nearly as interesting without that accordion in it. Or,
you're probably afraid to bring ideas. Okay, so here's what I'd like for this. You're like, oh, what am I going to get?
Definitely wasn't
That's
expecting.
cool though, because it's kind of like helps define your undefined sound. I think there's no genre. You guys have no genre, more or less.
Really,
I would say it's very alt post punk.
Yeah.
I guess the bass line kind of maybe, but even from song to song, like I don't know what I'm going to get. From song to song.
Same with us.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've had a hard time trying to categorize like what do we sound like? How do we market this music? Because we don't even know what genre it is. And I think we came up with uncategorizable, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think our more recent hope was like maybe sci-fi rock will...
Sci-fi rock.
Yeah, that's good.
Give people...
I like that.
Some sort of interest into what we do. And that feels like open enough that it could go anywhere.
I think most bands are like, I don't know what we sound like. I don't know who we sound like. That's probably a common thing that you guys probably hear that.
Yeah. And I think it's like, I'll hear little pieces, of different bands that remind me of you, like little, blips in the song pretty much.
Right.
But yeah, that's really cool. I'm trying to think. I think you have little tags on Bandcamp. I think one of them might have been Demented Math Rock or something like that. There was something with that. I liked all the tags you guys put in there. It's pretty cool though. But and then there's jazz. Like there's like jazz drum fills and like saxophone.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one. That was Chris.
I have it down here somewhere.
On that song where it's very much hypnotic. I'm blanking on the name of it. Was it
Whisper Song?
Whisper Song.
That sounds right because I have a note on. I think
yeah. And then all this, and that was totally Chris.
Whisper Tune. Right.
Yeah,
Whisper Tune. Because it starts out with it has like kind of Radiohead vibes with the bass, I think, a little bit at the beginning. And then there's like a saxophone, jazzy saxophone with this drumming. It's like jazz style. It's so cool. Yeah.
Like it's just out of nowhere.
Yeah, exactly. I have in my notes. It says out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere. I felt the same. I was like and it is, it's a perfect example of like that happens and it's fairly quick and you're like, what the hell just happened? And it goes back into like the original, like sort of moody part of the song.
I try to take anything that's going on around me and try to put it into whatever music I'm working on. And my kids have all taken worked on instruments through school. They haven't kept it up, unfortunately, but my son was playing sax at the time and he was actually really good. But if you ever told him that, he'd be like, well, I quit then. he just did not want to be known as the sax guy. So.
Yeah.
But he did have a lot of talent, and I wish I had recorded it more. But he was very resistant.
Yeah.
But that moment, I was able to get him into that. So I'm like, all right, well,
Oh, cool. That was your son?
That was my son. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And I fit him in the song that would work the least. That song,
right?
Yeah.
But it does.
But somehow it worked. To me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he
Sure.
improv it? Or?
No, I always made them
Melody.
do it again.
Yeah, do it again.
You
Just
turned
like
into
your old
Mr.
music
Ponce.
teacher, right? Yeah. But hopefully you didn't tell him you're going to shove the sax up his.
Shove it up your ass sideways. Oh, man. Full circle.
Yeah.
And my kids were always like, "No, do I have to go in your studio?"
Not again.
Be like hours later, they're coming out and they're all sweaty and beaten down. There's 36 takes.
Yeah.
We'll get this.
So it sounds like some of your style kind of between you two was some of it's a little bit intentional, but some of it's also organic, I guess.
Yeah.
Just because of you're different and the way your approach is,
Yeah. And I mean, like that example is I feel like I have kind of a linear idea in sort of like with that song, and a certain mood. And I think Chris has described himself as like attention deficit musician or whatever, where like this has been going on too long. So we're going to bust out of it and do something completely different.
Completely different.
Yeah.
And that's been like a lot of, especially early on, I feel like maybe we did too much of that or maybe just enough. I don't know. But it kind of evolved to maybe having a little more control over that.
Making it more, trying to make it more,
making it more deliberate. But yeah, like we were saying, it'd be fun to like jump back into, not that we're making music that's ever going to be mainstream,
Yes.
but just so there was one song called, was it Meanwhile?
Meanwhile, yeah, on Underwater.
Actually, there's Meanwhile, and then there's like another song that no one would know, but we each had a version of it.
Oh yeah.
It was like called Meatloaf Orlando or something. I can't remember the name of it, but we each had a version of it. And mine, I took some of Chris had recorded, I think we had both maybe recorded all these different sort of sections of a song. And I took some of those sections and kind of like, okay, that's cool. We need to hear it a few more times to like get into the groove and everything. And I made this something that was a little bit more mainstream. I want to say it was like 4 minutes. And then Chris did his version, which was like 22 minutes long. Just jumping all over the place. Like the moment you got into like, okay, this song's doing this, it would like completely do a left turn.
It's totally different. That was my Zappa influence.
Yeah. And I think those are kind of like the way that we work, off of each other and against each other and kind of like mesh our ideas together.
Yeah, Pat's much more like he's sort of like he has a pop sensibility that I don't have. Where I will just feel like anything goes. Pat will be like, okay, well, we can take elements of this and turn it into something a little more, have it, like he said, repeat a few times so people can understand it a little better, and then have it build up. Whereas I'm just like throwing things around in any direction.
Yeah.
So it's a good way to compromise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good balance.
Yeah, definitely a good balance. And I think we work pretty well together just for that reason. Because I'm always, not always, but I'm a lot of times I'll be kind of doing stuff in a more experimental direction. And Pat will be like, okay, let's just tame this a little bit and turn it into something a little more coherent.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's true. And I also like the other sort of side of us is Chris has like such an ear for he would say probably to a fault of when something is out of sync, sort of out of rhythm or out of tune. Like compared to him, I'm very tone deaf. Like sounds okay to me. I'm getting better. But that's when he's like, nope, that won't do. And there's been a few songs that have slipped by where he's like, that's part's wrong. But yeah, he kind of cracks the whip in terms of.
And probably there's a lot.
Quality
Most
control.
people don't hear it, right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's probably nobody else would notice.
I always think of there's this Morrissey song where the tambourine. You remember the name of the song?
Yeah. I don't know the name of it, but it's one of
But
his
the
later.
tambourine is off.
One of his more recent ones.
Yeah,
Is that
one
what
of his more recent.
Well,
I
it's
don't
gotta
know
be
everything
early.
recently. I know a lot of it though. I don't remember.
Not like very recently, but like
First
kind of
few albums.
burglary years or whatever that was. My burglary years. I think around that time.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's something that got through that tambourine. The tambourine's a bit off. And it drives
Nobody
me
else would
insane.
notice. Nobody else would
yeah.
notice.
But then when you mention it,
Drives
I'm
me
like, you know what?
crazy.
You're right. That is
I can't
off.
I'm like, Morrissey, how did you let that happen?
Yeah.
My daughter just saw Morrissey in France. She was in
Oh.
Paris
All right.
last week. He was like 2 hours late to the show, and she had to get on a train, so she only saw one song.
Oh,
I don't.
You're the one for me, Fatty.
He canceled the show
Yeah.
yesterday, I think. It was in
I-
Sweden.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's-
Yeah, he's been canceling a lot of them. He had like,
Because
Yeah.
we're too tired. We're too tired.
yeah, he's a real. Come on, people spend good
That's-
money on.
That's
Right.
so Morrissey, isn't it?
Yeah.
Totally, he's got to be pampered. You know,
Right.
Yeah.
give me a couple more hours.
He's no Mar.
But yeah, she missed pretty much the whole show, and she spent like a lot of money on it. You know,
That's
That
horrible.
sucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
I tried to warn her.
Yeah.
He's either going to
Lesson
cancel.
learned.
Yeah.
So, most of your like early albums are pretty much instrumental, right? Maybe all instrumental for the most part, right? And you kind of shifted it into more vocal heavy albums. And so, why did you guys shift into that? You know, what was the drive for that?
I feel like we've always had sort of the desire to make something that's, I don't know,
More accessible?
poppy. Yeah, accessible like poppy, but also just well recorded. And I don't know, there's always been that sort of yin and yang of just doing crazy experimental stuff and doing something that's like just a real accessible gem. And
We're still looking for that.
yeah, absolutely. Be unattainable. But I feel like for me anyway, early on, I didn't know anything about songwriting. So lyrics were definitely several steps away in the process. Like we would record the music and then, oh, this would be a good one if it had some vocals. Let's make up something. And we would kind of fit it in there.
Yeah.
And
But again, it was kind of like The Residents, where didn't have to be like actually singing. It could be sung through these weird effects or spoken, or it didn't have to be actual like good singing songs. You know,
right. And then I just feel like I had kind of figured out how to write lyrical songs a little bit more, and then for me anyway, it became easier. And I still think that, depending on who's writing the song, like I tend to go with either, I'll usually start with lyrics and figure out what music fits with it. And I think Chris is more the opposite. Like, well, he'll start with music and find lyrics to fit with it. And I think it's probably more just I started doing more of the upfront. And there was probably more planning that went into it, because I think originally we would just, do a song. We would just hit record and go and figure stuff out. And now it's sort of like I will do a scratch song, like sort of a demo song, and just get everything down and then be able to rearrange it and then do it again with, a more polished. Yeah.
I think when we
So I think
first
that
started,
process-
when we first started out, we made a record called Adventures in Dementia Praecox. And it's not really available right now. We should re-release it at some point. But that album was a good balance between weird instrumentals and like songs about schizophrenia. It was like strange subject matter, but
Yeah.
but they were actually songs with lyrics and everything. And I think that album was kind of the blueprint of what we were going to do for, until now. It was a mix of ambient stuff and then just songs with lyrics. And I think every time we do an album, we try to do something totally different than what we've done before. So the album after that was like Underwater, which was a really ambient record.
Yeah.
Mainly just, kind of, easy to consume instrumental songs. And, But we had that idea, let's just do something completely different. Then the next record was like the self-titled record, which was all over the map. But yeah, I think from that first record on, we just wanted to kind of blend instrumental, sometimes ambient, sometimes weird, and lyrical ideas and concepts.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Each record is like a totally different jump into the unknown.
And that's usually the way we tend to think about things. We don't, I know, like, again, back to like the marketing of music these days, they're always like, do singles.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
And we're always thinking from the record.
we're always thinking in terms of like records and like a collection of songs. That just seems more natural to us. I think what we're talking about doing since this last album is doing EPs. So it's not like such a 5-year journey and exhausting. Because I feel like at least
we're burnt out
exhausted after this last one. So doing something where, okay, we'll do like maybe 4 songs that are kind of grouped together that work together. We can get them done in optimistically like 6 months or something. And maybe have some cool artwork or, animations. Like that's another part of our music is like, I'm an animator and that's what I do as my day job. So
cool.
A lot of our music, it's a fun excuse to create a story based on music when I'm making like a music video. So a way of taking a group of songs and maybe one of them will be like, maybe, that's something that's doable. We have one that's animated, another 3 that could have an instrumental, and call that a complete work, because that seems like this last album, the one before it, they've all taken like 4 to 5 years each, right?
My fault.
No, it's not your fault. It's just like, it's the 2 of us, and we get meticulous.
Yeah. We're working on a cover album, right? Or a cover EP.
Oh,
right now.
True. Yeah.
So that should be fun.
A lot of irons in the fire.
Yeah. And that has a lot of post-punk elements in it.
Huh?
We're doing some Smiths. We're doing some Cure.
Okay.
Doing some Leonard Cohen, David Bowie.
Duran Duran.
Requests?
I love Bowie. Do
another Bowie song.
Yeah.
With your wide range of styles, like, you still manage to make the albums cohesive, I feel like. I think I mentioned this already, but what's your approach to track placement, or do you even think about that for the album? Like, I'm going to drop this song here and then it's going to the next one. And because a lot of times it'll be very abrupt, a switch to a different sound, and it's, what kind of thought do you put into that, or do you?
There's a lot of thought. And Pat's really good at making these interludes between songs. Unfortunately, that somehow didn't make it to this last record. But the whole idea when we were originally putting the album down into different, which song order we're going to do, was to have all these ways to have one song flow into the next. And sometimes it is like we intentionally want it to be an abrupt transition.
Yeah.
Kind of wake you up, if you're kind of getting to that point of the album where it's maybe getting a little snoozy. But yeah, I was hoping eventually we'll come up with that interlude album version.
Yeah, they're all, the interludes are done. It's just like who for the few who have, where is my CD? I'll find it. We made a CD, like a select number. And
what are these?
I made the mistake. We had 2 sets of songs, like 2 versions. One was like with the interludes, one was without. And I made the mistake of choosing the ones, sending away the ones that didn't have the interludes. Although a lot of them already had interludes kind of built into the songs.
Yes.
And the reason for that, a lot of that was, not only we really love, and I don't know why people don't do it more often, just like, when you have something that's like a really cool transition from one song to another, rather than like 2 seconds of silence,
Yeah.
So something like that. Now that's interesting in itself, but also it felt like with our 18 songs, it felt a little bit overwhelming, like one going into the other, and so I felt like some of them needed
room
some
to breathe.
Yeah, they needed some room.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of that actually made it into the ends of songs. So a lot of them, the song doesn't, like, what is it? what's our big hit from this album? Must Be Nice. I think.
Must Be Nice.
Yeah,
you got it.
So the end of that one is, it just has like, it has like the fade out, and then it fades into this like instrumental thing where it's like this little guitar sequence of 3 sort of acoustic guitars just doing really simple things, but the way that they are patterned. And then Chris added recorder and EBO and so it has like this moment, and it reminds me of something it's very Beatles like. I can't place which song it would be similar to, but just that like gave it enough space. The next song, you don't feel like you're being hit over the head.
Yeah.
Over and over,
Yeah.
And plus, in this day and age, people don't, like we were talking, people don't really listen to albums as much. It's more like song culture. So these interludes wouldn't really work with that. Unless you listen to the CD or eventually the record. We just need to make enough money to put this out.
Yeah.
It's our big.
It ain't cheap. I know that.
And we made too many songs to even fit on a record. So.
Yeah, you can, that's right. Got to be a double vinyl. Sorry, more money. I think it's good that you put the sort of transitions within the songs a little bit. I think it creates a really good flow between them. So
yeah, to me, they're so easy to do because our songs are very layered, and with vocals, you don't hear a lot of that. And so it's kind of nice to pull out some of that instrumentation and have it, just on its own. And I was doing videos for a little bit of like breaking down our songs, just to show some of that, because it does get lost in the mix a little bit, and it's kind of fun to pull those things out. So that's an easy way to do it. It's like, we want to just have this little horn section on its own, sort of repeating itself along with some other stuff.
And sometimes they're like essential parts of the song, but you don't really know it because there's so much going on top of them.
Yeah.
When you finally do hear them, you're like, oh, that's what that sound was.
We may be guilty of kind of overproducing since we, do the producing as well. We tend to try to maybe fit too much in.
Overproducing.
That's a difficult thing, right? Jim talks about that all the time when we're talking.
I'll put a whole bunch of layers, and then I'll start taking stuff away. Like, I'm like, that's too much stuff, and pull it off, and I'm like, there's this song, Like,
we're not so good at that, Jim.
Yeah,
I've never felt like that. Listening to your music, any of your songs, I never felt that way. Like there was too much there.
That's good.
I think it could be really easy to do that, but yeah. And maybe you pull stuff out too, kind of like Jim does, or it's pretty much just
we do. We get into fights over it for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, that sting.
Yeah. Just turn it down a little bit. It's competing with this frequency.
Remember sting, man.
So, underwater. I think just Jim, this was your questions, I think, on this. You asked if it was a concept album and what's the story behind it. That was one question. And then I think you had a question about the Garbage Men in Baltimore. What is it? It's called the Baltimore Garbage Men. That's the name of the song, right? I think that's the actual name of it.
Yeah. Is it?
I was wondering what the story was behind that.
I think that's what the name of it is.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Baltimore Garbage Men. Yeah.
Pat did a recording like a field recording of these garbage men right outside his apartment, right? Wasn't that how?
Yeah. They're just sort of...
They're like yelling and...
They're, talking amongst themselves. Yeah, they're just kind of yelling out stuff. I don't even know what they're saying, but I don't even remember it being named that. I thought it was just like a special thanks.
Did you guys grow up in the city? Or either any of you? No, not
really. We kind of grew up small town.
I grew up in the city, like the inner city, and like that's like background. It's like calming noises for me. To hear the garbage men like chatter and like, shoot the breeze and call out stuff and throw things. Yeah.
Which city did you grow up in?
I'm from Kansas City, like the inner city on the Missouri side. Yeah. So my mom still lives in the inner city. So yeah.
Yeah, we grew up in the suburbs. Pretty, kind of small townish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. I always wondered what that would be like when I was growing up.
Boring. That's recording and making music because there's nothing else to do.
Yeah.
And now I live in the woods. I'm like even farther out in the sticks. So
Yeah.
but
I'm pretty far out there now myself. But
I don't feel like there was a strong concept with it. I think it was just we wanted to do something like the idea of underwater itself was, I feel like maybe that was the concept of just things kind of flowing.
Yeah, Pat was living in Baltimore and he could only play his drums with like chopsticks. Right?
I was in this tiny studio apartment.
Yeah, they sounded so cool that it's like, like let's just make a full album. I think Pat made an album of all these different just ambient sounds, and then he gave it to me to add to, and then we ended up making more songs together. I think.
Yeah,
but
it's like maybe half the album.
Well, initial idea was you.
Yeah, it was kind of a skeleton of because I did finally took my drums that had been at our parents' house and brought them to Baltimore in this tiny studio apartment, and played with chopsticks, and I think that was me trying to do like the like Terry Bozzio in my own simplified way. And that's just kind of following that, and then of course like I handed over to Chris, and at that point I feel like there was plenty of space to work with, and Chris added just like the most rhythmically strange guitar parts, and but it kind of like all fit together, but I don't think there was necessarily like a strong concept other than these songs will kind of flow together. They'll have build-ups and dynamics, but not be what you would consider. You wouldn't necessarily say, oh, that's the end of that song, because it would be like on to another sort of feeling.
Lots of moods,
so it's just kind of a moody instrumental ambient exploration, I guess.
Yeah, I'd say that.
Hey, Jim, you want to ask a question?
Oh, you do.
I never let Jim talk.
I think it's fine. It's our.
And he doesn't want to usually.
Yeah. I just like to throw out thoughts occasionally. What else I'm terrible at this. That's why I like you doing this.
You had a question about the bubble fish.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'm trying to find where it is. I'm having trouble.
You're fired. No, I'm just.
What page is it on? I was just here it is.
It wasn't that. I don't know if we're gonna get the payoff for this.
All right, I found it. Let's take two. Ready?
Take two.
Dance to the bubble fish. Can you walk us through what this dance looks like, and can we get a demonstration?
Pat?
Yeah, I think you wrote that one.
Oh, everybody's like, "Hey," they're pointing fingers.
Got it. Which one is the dance of the bubble fish? Because I'm looking at it. I'm looking at my iTunes version of it.
On Spotify, it's in underwater.
Yeah, that weird bass going on.
It's right after paralysis.
Yeah. Oh, I have that as water on the brain.
No, Dance of the Bubble Fish was like that.
It's between paralysis and water on the brain.
Oh, I'm missing that.
Yeah.
What a lost song. How's it go? Hum it for us.
Oh, jeez.
We'll have it.
I'm a few bars.
No, not that one. Not the one that sounds like ducks. No, it was like it had this very envelopey bass line, and damn, I don't even know how to describe it.
I don't hear it.
It's been a long time since I listened to that one.
I probably have a Gates on here.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. Sorry.
But yeah, I remember liking that song a lot, but I just can't even think how it goes. I can kind of hear the bass line in my head, but
that's pretty sad.
It's been a long time.
Well, you know what? It's going into the episode somehow. We're gonna put a clip in there, so everyone will know.
98, I believe, 1999.
Wow.
So it's been a long time.
sounds like clanking of glasses that are happening, like bottles.
Oh yeah, right.
Okay.
It was the glass one, Pat. You were playing the glass.
Was it the Warriors? The Warriors? Is it like the Warriors? That movie? Have you seen that? No. Okay, it's just me.
No.
I've seen.
There's these guys with bottles on their fingers, like clanking them together.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you should check it out sometime if you've ever seen it.
Warriors.
I think I remember that
from the 80s.
I had collected bottles, just randomly, partly for the looks, to decorate my apartment back then. And I also would take old drum set cymbals and sort of cut them into ribbons so they would kind of hang. And they made like a pretty cool, like, whoosh, the way that they would. I think
I still use them.
Yeah. And then didn't have much money back then, so it was like any instrument we could make, we would do, rather than buy actual percussion. I spent a long time trying to make drums.
You made a marimba, like a full size.
A couple marimbas.
Wow.
Log drums.
Yeah, and I was kind of experimenting with like actually sculpting, instruments, but I never got far enough to make them sound any good. But I think there's probably a lot of that kind of stuff. And there's, I remember back then, using like PVC tubes of different lengths and kind of, just boom, 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 that kind of stuff. So some of that I'm sure was in there.
We were influenced by Stomp too, right?
Stomp.
Oh yeah, I saw Stomp not that long ago. It's still holding up. It's still great.
Yeah. Like they're playing pieces of paper. Like, we can do that.
Yeah. Got rhythm. I've got rhythm. Yeah.
Yeah, that album has a lot of homemade instruments. I think it's mainly homemade instruments with some guitar playing on top, right? But that was kind of one of the ideas, that we're going to make an album that was mostly weird percussion that's homemade, that you made.
Well, yeah.
Pat made.
Pat made.
You're right, sure. But yeah, I think the idea was like just more the mood we were going for, and how do we do that? In college, you've got no money. You save up money to buy CDs. So what? You're not going to like go and get whatever sitar or whatever things we picked up along the way since then. So yeah, a lot of it was just like, this makes a cool sound. Let's try this. And first, we were just so jazzed about being able to record stuff. Even though we'd been doing it for a while at that point, it was still using the old Casio sampler keyboard.
Oh yeah, that thing was awesome.
SK1.
Oh, you had one too?
It was the best portamento ever.
Yeah. So that ended up.
I had one.
Did you like the little sampler one?
Yeah.
Dog barking.
Did you see that they rebuild those now? People modify those.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, because I even looked up. They're not cheap to buy.
They're not cheap. Yeah, I should have kept mine. I wish I did.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
You can get the best sci-fi sound on that. Portamento. It was like, yeah, that's awesome.
We're on the cleavage.
Yeah, Jim's on the cleavage. Those are his words.
I'm married. So.
Jim can't stop staring at the album cover. No, I'm just kidding. I don't want to get you in trouble. I'm just kidding.
It's not true, Jenny.
Because
it's not true, Jenny.
The back album cover. I don't know if you guys saw the back side of that album cover.
No,
but a friend of mine, I remember being there, and he was like, wow, he's really liking the front cover, but then he looked at the back, he's like, wow, that's awesome cleavage. And I had to break it to him that those are my ass cheeks. And
I was afraid you were going to say that. That's awesome.
I don't know how you could find that attractive. He was so appalled.
He had to burn his eyes out after that.
That's awesome.
Never looked at you the same.
Anyway.
So, yeah. I don't have too many notes about this one. I listened to it a lot. I really enjoyed it. Jim might have some. It's a really interesting record. There's a couple songs in your catalog in particular that I'm like, that make me think, okay, I don't think anything's off limits as far as like subject matter. And a lot of it's kind of tongue in cheek. Like there's this sort of a reflective meaning behind things and stuff like that. But we have John on the latest album, right? Most recent album. And then we have Necrophilia is the lead off track on Cleaver. So I don't know.
Truth be told,
I don't know. I don't know if there's a question in there. It's just a statement.
Oh, well, we just found that it was kind of like took a turn of being a little bit darker than the albums previous.
That's yeah.
Yep.
Would that be correct?
Actually,
maybe?
Yeah, that was that right? Pretty 9/11ish.
2003, so it'd be right after.
Yep.
Yeah, I think there was some of,
and that was kind of the first
definitely.
album that had a lot of, well, maybe not the first, but one of the first that where you kind of had a lot of vocal tracks.
Yeah, I think we were going for that. We were trying to make a pop album.
Yeah, it was. It was trying to, at least in the beginning. It was before we gave up on that. I'm just
actually, it was a cover. It wasn't one of ours. It was a band that. I went to school at SUNY Fredonia, with this brilliant guy who wrote all these really crazy, dark songs. And he and I and another guy recorded that one. And I always loved it. And Pat liked it too. So we decided we were going to do a cover of it. But yeah, it's kind of a disgusting song, but it's all tongue in cheek. And
Yeah.
And most of the songs on that album are. But that was our attempt to try to do something that was all lyrical.
Yeah, and I feel like the tongue-in-cheek part, I felt like that was a time when we did a song called "Terrorists,"
right?
And really felt like it was very obvious that we weren't speaking.
We weren't trying to be literal.
Yeah, it wasn't. And I don't know if nowadays we would make that same assumption.
I think people actually thought we were, serious about that stuff. I remember we had won, best band of the Hudson Valley, and they put us in this magazine article, and they were talking about our provocative lyrics, and they wrote those down as and that was supposed to sum us up. And I'm like, oh my God, people might think that we actually felt that way,
right?
But we were just trying to it was just basically parody. We were just thinking of what certain types of people would say, and. We've done it on a few different songs, and I hope people don't take it literally because we are not racists, and we're not, we do just kind of play around and poke fun.
Yeah, it's kind of from a point of view we thought was very obvious, like someone who would be afraid of their neighbor because they're a little bit different, and
it's just so foreign to us that we would never think of. People might think that about us.
Yeah, it seems like, seems like to me it was like the opposite. I mean, you're being sarcastic about the whole thing, very tongue in cheek, but
well, hopefully that is the most people feel that way.
Certain risks that I must take to keep those stakes from biting down upon a wrist from time to time. I'm sure I'll find him staring at my wife's behind. Contaminate and infiltrate her words that somehow come to mind.
Who raps on "I Can't Believe It's Not Butter"?
It's a friend of mine. His name's John Fay, and he is such a great. He plays with all kinds of language. He'll just do all these freestyle raps all the time, and great bass player too. So we were jamming one time, and I just said, "What? Could you just come up with a rap on the spot over this vamp?" And he just came up with this. It took him about 2 minutes, and I stuck a mic in front of him, and he just did it.
Wow.
That's perfect. So
is that our only rap song? I don't say rap anymore, but
raps. I think I attempted a rap song at one point, and you said, "Don't ever do that again." These are your exact words. Don't ever try that again.
Yeah, let's just let that one go.
We buried that deep.
I think one of my favorite songs is the one right after that. Right, at least right now that I was listening to was the Chips in the Chocolate Sky. That song.
Oh yeah.
Which has like kind of a, if I remember right, it's kind of got like a heavy guitar riff in there. It's so cool. Yeah.
It's my wife singing on that.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah,
I was getting ready to ask, like, when did you start having? Because you have a lot of background female vocals on, your more recent works, and I couldn't remember if this one had some or not. So that's your wife?
That's my wife. Yeah, she used to. Whenever we wanted a female vocalist, she's not a trained vocalist, but she's got a good ear. So she's another person that would be like, do it again. Come out of the studio, like, what did you? Like she'd be ripping her hair out.
And she wrote like some of the lyrics.
She's done a lot of the lyrics.
She's a great poet, and
I started playing a band with this woman named Marianne Tasic, who's in the Hudson Valley. She's in a lot of bands. She's well known, and she's got such a wonderful voice that I just asked her to try one of our songs, and she ended up really liking the music. So she even said, I'd love to be just an honorary member of the band.
Oh, cool.
So now we try to use her on every album.
Awesome.
I try to use her on every song, but I just hard to
push it.
Yeah. She's got.
I've yet to meet her in person. That's how.
So is she the one that's like singing on Quarantined?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, that's It's a really unique voice. I think it's really
a really
good
she's a great
quality.
violin too. She brings that element too.
Yeah.
Yeah. She kind of adds that layer of polish to our vocals.
She's our secret weapon because our vocals kind of.
Yeah, I think I had a comment on one of the songs that has violin in it. I can't remember which one was it. I have a note here somewhere.
Is it on
in Infantile Dreams? I don't know if that's her playing violin on there or if it's you got it somewhere else. But it's one that kind of opens like Radiohead kind of a little bit. It sounds like that, and then it kind of the violin comes in a little bit later.
That's her,
yeah. Great song.
And I tried to get other people to play it over the top of those chord progressions, and they just refused. They're like, this doesn't make sense. And I gave it to her, and she did it in like 2 takes.
Oh wow!
She listened to it once, played 1 take. She didn't like it. I liked it, and the second one she nailed it. So I was like, you're in the band.
2 takes.
I think I really noticed like true talents. She does it so quickly. Like she has such a good ear. She can hear something once and know exactly what to do with her vocal takes too.
Yeah.
Really nice harmonies, So I usually give her some direction, but a lot of times she'll throw in these ideas that I wouldn't have even thought of. So it's nice to have her.
Cool.
Oh, Brahma Barker? I had a question about that.
That was pretty much all you, right, Chris?
Well, you came up with the idea. It came out of a mandolin thing you had come up with.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. The chord progression was mine, but then you just took it and made it into an actual song.
Yeah, it's supposed to be kind of I was really influenced by Radiohead at that moment in time.
I wrote down King Crimson on that one. I kind of felt like it was like 1980s King Crimson with Adrian Belew playing or something.
Yeah,
that's what I heard. So
yeah, yeah.
It's sort of a juxtapition of King Crimson and Radiohead in my mind.
Definitely, yeah.
That's a good fit.
But they were probably fans of Crimson anyway.
Big fans. And then the lyrics, it was supposed to be kind of a cross between like Indian religion and capitalism of the price is right, and kind of the the disparity between the two. But yeah, that was I never liked my vocals on that, so I've always wished I could go back and redo them. But what are you gonna do? You think the song had
do a remix or something?
Yeah. Unfortunately, all those tracks they're all on Pro. We switched from Pro Tools to Logic at one point.
Oh yeah, we had
no way to access a lot of our old records.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a way now to do it, but
I'm just going to I'm going to talk about some different tracks that are kind of standing out to me right now, like as I'm looking through. So off of A Place Where Nobody Goes, 2019, right?
Yeah.
So on the cover of that, like, where is he going into the bedroom? Is that where he's going?
Yeah, so a lot of this album, our mother had passed away from cancer, and so I think a lot of the songs are kind of about that and sort of dealing with it. And that scene was one that I did. It was kind of a situation where my wife was very, very pregnant with our second child, and my mom was dying. It's just a horrible situation. And the morning that she died, I kind of had to leave to get back to my wife before she gave birth, and she had died right the morning I was planning to leave. And so that's kind of me walking into that room where she was.
Wow.
So it's a
pretty heavy.
Sad scene.
Yeah.
But she was an amazing person, and so a lot of it is like dealing with the grief, and a lot of it is celebrating her.
Yeah, that was definitely a therapy album.
Yeah, exactly.
We had to work through a lot of that, grief and depression. So some of the songs are a little more sad, and moody.
Yeah.
Speaking of fallibility of the knife, really like the sound of that song, but it's very haunting, right? The bass is really interesting, I think, on that song. It's kind of meandering a little bit. I don't know how the right way to say it. I'm not a musician, but
I think that's a good way.
It kind of lends to the feel of the song, I think.
Yeah. I put a lot of thought into bass lines.
Oh, cool.
I'm a little busy on the bass, and so the songs that I'm playing bass on are usually meandering. A lot of it goes in many directions, and I try to kind of use it as almost like more of a centerpiece than the guitar. If the guitar is just doing something more vampy, I'll just try to cut loose with the bass, and make it, to me, interesting. It might be a little over the top to most listeners. But yeah, I do think about bass lines quite a bit, especially the quarantine bass line. I remember, just spending so much time trying to make that thing exactly what I was hearing in my brain, So yeah, bass lines are very important to me.
Cool. Yeah.
And you're good at it. It's like if I play the bass, it's going to pretty much stick pretty close to the root. And
sometimes that's like all it should be doing,
Yeah, sure.
That's what a bass should be doing,
I think it's a balance, the way you're doing it, Chris. It's a balance. I mean, I think it's really interesting in this song. Not so much though that it's you just focus in on only that. It kind of lends to the feel of the song, and then you kind of think about it later. I think you're like, then you notice it like on the back end. At least I did.
The uniqueness of a human life, ever present with internal strife, the infallibility of the night.
kind of dancing around
Yeah.
the rest of the, repetitive pattern. I always think of music like in sort of abstract visuals.
Like those old Disney cartoons.
That's how I would picture it. It's kind of, dancing around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not saying, whoa, look at me. It's sort of, it's the big dude in the back of the room is kind of,
He's just the big dude's dancing in the back of the room.
never mind.
Something like that.
The fat bass dude.
Right. Trying to make himself known in a subtle way. The EBO guitars during the instrumental sections, I felt like that really came out pretty cool.
Yeah. How many episodes have we talked about the EBO on, Jim?
Yeah. Yeah, I think post-punk and EBO go together or something.
Yeah, they must.
Such a cool thing,
It is.
Must, yeah.
It's a cheap
I don't have one. I need to get one.
Oh, I figured you did, Jim.
I use a volume pedal, and it kind of works like an EBO.
Yeah.
I have a lot of delay and echo with a volume pedal. And,
you get rid of that attack, and there's so much you can do.
Compressor, volume pedal.
Yeah. I love it. In fact, I think I overuse it. It's like, we put it on this song too.
Can you ever really overuse it?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I'm gonna nerd out with the pedal thing in a minute, just because there's one pedal that I think you guys would love if you don't already have it. It's just called Attack Delay by Electro-Harmonics.
Yes. Yeah,
Jim, you've talked about that.
I mean, everyone should have. I mean,
I borrowed one from a friend, an old bass player from my band now. He's like, try this, bring it home and use it. And I did, and I liked it. It's cool.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what Robert Fripp uses all the time. I'm surprised you don't have one, Chris.
Use whatever,
No, it'll be my next purchase. You sold it.
I believe they make two different sizes of it too. Like one has probably more features than the other. Or
yeah, mine's probably the basic one, but the fact that you can adjust the attack to get that it just fades in. It's
just a reverse and stuff, doesn't it? Has a reverse.
Yeah.
Delay, reverse delay.
Yeah.
Is that what you use on Let's Pretend We're Dead? The solo?
Probably. Yeah,
I'm sure. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah,
I've been thinking about getting whatever you have that you use on that. So now I'm definitely old.
There you go.
I know what to get you for your birthday.
Yeah. I'll be waiting.
So I want to mention a couple other tracks at least, because I know our time is getting away from us a little bit. Multitasking, I really like a lot. All the way around, like the irony of like the message, the sound of it, like the musically. I just think it's so cool in the chorus. So cool. But yeah, I think just the irony of like, we have all this technology to experience more, quote unquote. We're actually experiencing less because all this stuff is, it's like we can't even remember what we looked at today or what we, all the things we did. So,
Yeah,
joy.
So true. And I think that's the one where I mentioned that. Correct me if I'm wrong, Chris. That's the one that I was starting that one off. Like I was because I think I played the bass on that. I was happy with the way the bass was going. It was feeling very Rush, and that's the one. Is that the one where you added the accordion, right?
Yeah.
So.
Oh, that's the one. Okay.
Yeah. Completely changed the direction of it. But
he shut down your Rush. With an accordion.
We'll have none of
that. Or Geddy Lee is now taking accordion lessons. We don't know. But
he'd be awesome.
Yeah, that's an interesting one, just like from a structural point of view. The fact that the chorus only comes in twice, but the pre-chorus seems to come in a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, I remember because, I mentioned that I was taking guitar lessons with Mark, the guitar guy, Mark McKenzie. And so I would play him a lot of these songs, and he has like a real pop sensibility and kind of, in terms of song structure, is very good at tearing stuff out and, taking out the fat, as he calls it, and just getting it down to its basics. And he kept on saying, like, it needs more of the chorus, And I couldn't figure out how to put another chorus in there and didn't feel like it needed it. But it is, I think, a little bit unconventional just in terms of, you don't hear the chorus that much, but maybe you hear it enough.
You wait for it.
I think, yeah.
Yeah.
It's much better it comes along.
Yeah.
Piling up a constant climb to stay on top, and for you, there's too much to do. Need more time and more arms and more eyes, but you only have two. Eat your breakfast while you race out the door. Morning conversations while checking the scores. Forget the present, minds on to the next. Fix your hair and drive a car while checking your text. Who did you see today? They're all faceless. Where did you go today? Endless places. What did you do today? Nothing at all. How was your day, dear? I can't recall. Multitasking. Still another day away. Multitasking. Feels like every day's the same. Multitasking. Scattered thoughts club my brain. Steals away another day. Steals away another day. Steals away another day.
Hey, yeah, it just sums up modern life so well. Like, it's just most of my days are like, what the hell did I do today?
Yeah.
I'm always multitasking. I'm always trying to do like 50 things at once, and you end up not really having like the full experience of something, you know, because your mind is always 10 different things.
A lot of these songs on this album started off as I was doing this thing years ago when I worked at a animation studio and had some free time to doodle, and I would make these things called dailies, and they were just like sort of like a online sketchbook where I would just draw whatever I was feeling that day, and kind of started off like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then it evolved over a couple of years. One of them was called Multitasking, Steals Away Another Day, or, you know, it was basically the chorus, and that's kind of how a lot of these songs started.
Yeah, they're just like little illustrations.
Yeah, there were little illustrations that had like a little tagline with the drawing, and like, oh, I mean, that's kind of like write a song around that. So that's kind of how a lot of these. I'm kind of going through the list here. X-ray glasses.
How about Insomnia?
Insomnia I feel we've been going through for years. We used to make short films too, like when we had camcorders, and that was kind of like right before we started making music. We were making films, or what we thought of as films. Yeah, and there were definitely some crossover there. And when I went to art school in Baltimore, and it turned out to be like a sort of a school project, but it was more just something I was making and turned it in as a project. But it was a short film. It was before I even had access to editing equipment, so it was all like edited in camera. It was called Insomnia, and of course Chris starred as the subject matter because he was always willing to do whatever. And so I think some of it came from dripping sinks and
like all the sounds that keep you awake at night. And the way that song ends was it's sort of like, you know, the pounding beat and the chorus is, you know, repetitive, and it's like do 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 do, but then it kind of has this transition where all the guitars transition to acoustic guitars, and it's almost like finally getting to that point where you're falling asleep, which conceptually I thought was kind of a cool way to take the idea of the song and figure out like the instrumentation of, you know, how the best way to make those musical choices, which is always fun. Like to have the music kind of reinforce the idea.
There's a line in there that's like, that says dreaming like over and over. Like, it's like every night I'm dreaming a dream, and it like says dreaming like everywhere.
I
love that line.
I was trying to do something that was like almost like a Dr. Seuss, like only using like a certain number of words and having them repeat over. It didn't end up being that way, but I feel like some of those lines still stuck in there.
I have a dream every night. Every night I'm dreaming a dream. I have a dream every night I can't shake. In my dreams I'm lying awake. The creeping house, my beating heart, oblivion, but when you start, the dripping sink, the ticking clock, my racing mind, it will not stop. My racing mind, it will not stop.
It felt like you were doing it over and over again. It was like, okay, I'm like counting sheep. I'm like saying, I'm like trying to get myself to go to sleep.
Yeah. And then awesome. When you're supposed to be awake, you're like half asleep.
And that's like a thing that Pat and I have, well, especially me, I've suffered from insomnia pretty much all my adult life. So
yeah,
I'm well versed in those feelings.
How about you, Pat?
I've gotten better. Yeah, I've been doing.
Goes to bed before 10.
No, I have these ebbs and like Chris is a real night owl, and they'll send me tracks and stuff and look at the time. Oh, I came at like 3 a.m. And I know he has to work the next day, so I know it's like he's not.
I've gotten better.
Yeah,
taking me a long time.
But yeah, I've been trying to do meditation and all kinds of stuff just to curb some of that.
Yeah,
but
I drink way too much coffee.
I don't hear that.
We actually
X-ray glasses has like 80s punchy vibe kind of, and I really like it. There's like is there a Roland electric piano or something? There's something in there that's like an electric piano. What is that?
Yeah.
Man, how come I can't listen to it? And
Wait, a lot of pressure.
I want to say it's later in the track, maybe.
Oh yeah, they're definitely like there's kind of a solo section where
yes,
sort of like
that's electric piano. And I like that because it is a moment where it's just the music doing its thing.
It's kind of set apart, right?
Kind of a moment where you can like breathe a little bit.
Yes, and I felt like we were desperate to have those moments.
Yeah, we'll take
the album at one point. We're like, yes, it's so like dense with lyrics and
Why should I feel so low? I can see through your lies, I can see through your show. Being polite, laughing at my jokes. My friends are not my friends, they're just people that I know. X-ray glasses, I want my money back. X-ray glasses, I want my money back. X-ray glasses, you can't hide from me. You can't hide from me.
Jim, didn't you ask if they ever got their money back? Did you ask that question?
Oh. It was about the X-ray glasses. Do you remember in the comic books when they used to sell X-ray glasses, like novelty stuff?
Yeah.
I was just wondering if it was something to do with that at all. But
well,
that's a line in the song, right?
The line in the song was like another. It was another one that started as like one of those daily drawing things, I think.
Yeah. Cool.
But then it kind of like it started having a bigger role in terms of like the overall. If the book's ever finished, this guy invents these X-ray glasses and, spends all his all his fortune trying to produce this product, and no one wants them. No one really wants to see like what's, everyone wants their money back. So
that's too much.
He becomes bankrupt, and I think there's a scene. We have a video that it just uses one of the illustrations from the book that was finished. That's the quarantine song. And the whole video is just basically like zooming. It's a scene where this guy who invents the X-ray glasses is looking, he climbs onto his rooftop and he's looking down at the neighborhood, and all the neighbors have built up walls, which is kind of another
during quarantine, like during the lockdown. So.
And on the walls are, pasted all the lyrics to the whole song. So the video is just kind of like moving in from lyric to lyric as it goes by, as the music goes on. So that's kind of one of the sort of themes of the whole sort of concept album, I guess, is the X-ray glasses, this guy who is an inventor. I don't know, it kind of goes all over the place, but he invents like a time machine to go back in time to stop his previous self from meeting his wife to be. It's pretty messed up, but that's.
And you get a little glimpse into all these different lives. People that and they're not so pretty, and not such pretty stuff. So he wants his money back. He wants to get rid of these classes. He sees too much.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Like, there's other ones I was going to ask about, but I just can't hit them all.
No, there's a whole lot in that, and I did a crappy job explaining like the overall concept. It's kind of all over the place. It's very loose, but it's just kind of fun to see the way that.
Now you have to do the book.
Now I feel like I have to.
That's a teaser.
We need the book.
Okay, I'll do it.
We'll keep hounding you. Keep hounding.
Yeah.
He instead of the book, he comes out with his graphic novel, which is awesome. But
Yeah. That's. Yeah.
So I'm hoping
all your passion.
We have a new video coming out very soon. Oh, I'm not a robot.
Cool.
Up on the final touches on it right now.
Yeah, any day now.
Any day. No specific. You're not going to give any exact
pressure, Pat.
day.
I probably should
pressure.
just to like get myself to finish it. I mean, it's done. I think we agreed that the last mix is approved and ready to go.
Yeah, I think we're good.
And the animation's pretty much done, so I just have to stick the two together and spit it out. I was one we're going to try to put into film festivals for the heck of it, see if that does anything.
I think you should. Why not?
Definitely.
Yeah.
You'll never know unless you do it.
It's really cool. Really cool. Pat's animation on this is brilliant, I must say.
Yeah, it was fun. It was kind of, it's just...
Some of it has like kind of like, maybe I'll be way off on this, like sort of a comic book, like 50s type feel sometimes. 50s or 60s, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so cool. Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, I love that style.
That whole...
Jim's holding something up.
Does Pat Bradley YouTube page or whatever?
Yeah, there's some progress on there. Yeah.
Yeah. I've been on there. Yeah.
Okay.
I've been on there a little bit. Yep. Cool. Pat, were you getting ready to say something? I thought maybe.
I was just gonna say that sort of 50s, even earlier animation style. I mean, because I'm one person, like a lot of my animation's a little bit limited. It lends itself to that kind of 50s style pretty well, which I also just love the aesthetic of that. So it kind of makes it way into my work.
Cool. Well, I wanted you guys to know that there's a ton of songs that we could have talked about.
Yeah, we didn't barely scratch the surface.
They're all great. I mean, yeah, honestly, I'm not just saying that.
I appreciate you guys, talking about the music. It's wonderful to have some interest. So.
Yeah,
I don't know that I don't feel like I did it justice tonight, really, Jim.
Oh, you did great. You did great.
Yeah.
I never do quite, but this definitely I don't feel like that because there's just so much there. And I'm still like, you know how it is when you listen and then you kind of get something new from it every time you listen. That's the way your songs are. I feel like,
Cool. That's what we're going for, really.
So
yeah,
I think we're kind of summing it up as each song is like a little David Lynch movie.
Yeah, perfect. Yes.
David Lynch. Every time you watch one of his movies, you see something that you should have seen before, but you didn't. It just jumps out.
You're like, oh my gosh. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So that's why I feel like what you said was a real compliment.
Yeah. Cool.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. I appreciate you guys. We'll wrap it up. I guess, we were going to ask what's going on, what's new, what's coming out, but I think you guys have kind of talked about that a little bit.
Yeah.
Unless there's, you got your new single that you're working on, or new video.
Video and single.
And that's I'm Not a Robot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're going to be hopefully coming out with a cover EP soon.
So I guess if I buy one of your CDs that's signed, it won't have the interludes in it, right?
But
not yet.
You'll get access
Come on,
to
Pat.
the digital version.
But you guys got a lot of cool shirts too, because I've looked through all the merch.
I've got
really cool designs. Yeah.
You've got
and there's some xenophobia shirts, I think. A couple different ones, maybe. Yeah,
I've got to figure out the website. I've not been good about keeping track of the merchandise. Because
I was looking at your website, and I might have missed it. I probably did because I'm bad about missing things. But I was like, I don't think there's an about section, like about you guys. Like No.
No.
And maybe that was intentional. I don't know. But usually there's like an about and there's like,
Part of our residents. He knows who they really are.
But I might have missed it because, but anyway.
No, but
get right on that, Pat.
Yeah, I'm just like checking it out now. Yeah, you're right. There isn't.
Who are you?
Who are you? And but you know what? Some bands they want that. They're like, oh, keep the mystery,
Keep it a mystery.
You guys don't seem like that
clever
kind of band necessarily, as far as like,
We're ruining their mystery tonight.
There's no you're not wearing. You should have worn your costumes on the call.
Where's your eyeball?
Your eyeball.
We'd be steak knives instead.
Yeah.
Food.
One big cleaver.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Well, thanks a lot for your time. I appreciate. Time's valuable. So
no,
I really appreciate
fun.
you guys taking out your time. It means a lot.
You good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys listening to the music.
Well, I'm excited about what you guys are doing, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, thank you so much. Really appreciate you guys taking the time to listen.
And we'll try to catch up when, something else comes out. Maybe we'll get you back on or talk about some things.
Perfect. That'd be great.
Keep you guys in tune. We're doing
it. It's just nice to know that you guys are, there's someone out there listening.
When I find stuff like that, I'm like, why isn't more people? We need more people to hear about this.
There's quite a community out there, and we're learning a lot about it through this. I think, right, Jimmy? Wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, for sure.
You before me, obviously, but so it's pretty cool.
So really appreciate the bands that are doing it right. So
cool. Yeah, it's good to know about your show as well. So
yeah, we'll definitely go over.
Yeah, it's something special. That's for sure.
Yeah,
especially for a show.
All right, guys, we'll call it a night. I know you guys are all on the East Coast, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
East Coast time.
Very, very late.
Of course, Chris will probably be up till 3 or 4 at least.
Right.
So
I'm gonna try not to be, but you're probably right. Yeah. I can't help myself. Gotta work on this new album.
That's
right. All right.
Well, thanks
so
much.
A lot. Take care.
You guys.
Thanks, guys.
We'll talk to you soon. I'll reach out.
All right.
Bye.
All right. Adios.
Bye.
And that is going to wrap it up for our conversation with Chris and Pat Bradley of June Cleaver and the Stave Knives. Oh, that's a mouthful, isn't it? But what a great conversation and what great guys. I loved how deep we got into their background and their process. And hopefully it was just as much a treat for you as it was for me, just delving into all of that. You can find them on Bandcamp. I would recommend that you first go to cleavermusic.com. They've got several links on that page. One of the links is to their Bandcamp page, and then their latest album, which is appropriately titled Short Tales of Science Fiction and Family Dissonance. Really cool. I love the concepts of their work, what they put together with the graphics and artwork and the music, of course. I love the found sound style. Early on when I was listening to them, it reminded me of Devo, Wall of Voodoo, which a lot of people have not really dug into that band very much beyond the song Mexican Radio, which was a hit in the 80s. But there's so much more there, and they really remind me of that band a lot because Wall of Voodoo is a band that uses a lot of found sounds. And I really think that JC and the Steak Knives really utilizes found sounds even more and really incorporates the sounds and instrumentation together so well, along with, tying them into the concepts that Pat comes up with through his artwork and graphics. So I can't say enough positive things about this band. So please take your time to go check them out and listen to some of their songs and dive deep into their work. You can see they also have some merchandise and video links on their website, as well as a link to support them on Patreon. I, of course, will put all of the links in the show notes and point you to their music everywhere that you can find it. I don't think I've said this the last couple of episodes, but I do want to take a moment to thank those of you who have been here before and come back for more. We really do appreciate it, both Jim and I'm speaking for Jim. Jim, he will say whatever I want him to say. Especially in the intro and the outro. I speak for Jim and I as a duo, and he can like it or not like it. He's going to concur with everything that I say in the in the intro and outro. Maybe even in our chats, he'll concur. He will submit. Jim, submit to me. Let's not get any more crazy. But I have to have a little crazy in here. That's an element of the podcast, I think. So anyway. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I know there are those of you who come back every time for more of this insanity, and sometimes it's not a cup of tea, but you're still here drinking it. Sometimes it's laced with milk. Sometimes it's laced with arsenic. It just depends. You might be in store for either one. So here we are. I know one person, one very close friend in particular. I'm not going to mention any names right now, but I know of one close friend who this is 100% not necessarily his cup of tea. And that's a weird way for me just to say that sentence, but I said it that way. I'm going to stand by it. Actually, I'm sitting, so I'm going to sit by it, that sentence. And so I have one friend who I guarantee you this is not necessarily his thing, but he is always there. He's always comes back to listen out of support or sympathy. Yeah, thank you. Thank you to that friend who I guarantee you he knows who he is. But I thank you for your support. I thank you for listening. And I think in spite of you having to probably, listen through some things that are boring or not really worthy of your time, to be honest. But thank you so much. And thank the rest of you who keep coming back. You do have a choice. Just like the airlines say, we realize you do have a choice. So thank you for choosing ... Insert the airline name of your choice. So anyway, thank you for choosing. Before I go completely off the rails, I'll throw out the next episode. I'm going to name drop for this next episode. We have Richard Plug from the church. The original drummer from the church. What a great guy. We had a great conversation and just so gracious. Such a really friendly guy. And we had a really great time chatting with him. So that is up next. I'm working on that now. So hopefully I'll have that somewhat soon to you, hopefully in the next couple of weeks. So until then, let's keep that post-punk sonic heart beating. Take care.
Warriors, come out to play. Warriors, come out to play. Warriors, come out to play. Warriors, come out to play.
I am not a robot. I am not a robot. I move in predictable patterns. I'm told my smile's imitation. Don't have an original thought. No talent for the art of conversation. But check the box, I guarantee. Can almost say with certainty that